Okay, so this is just a follow-up to the angels and demons. I'm going to focus more on the demon aspect in part one, just to summarize and just to kind of recap. Essentially, these disembodied spirits or demons, whatever, reside within you, right? You are consciousness and flesh. There are no such beings. They are aspects of the flesh, yeah? They're aspects of this vehicle that we use to experience life, right? The animalistic beast aspect of them. That's why they're all connected to the beast, yeah? They're all connected to the devil, the beast, evil, flesh, ego, yeah? We've been through this. Right, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. And yeah, there's a few little Easter eggs along the way as well for you. Right, okay, so let's start here. So all life on Earth is a spectrum, yeah? This is the spectrum. Goes all the way from wherever to wherever. Now, human life on Earth is like this. The archetypes exist either side of the bell curve, yeah? Now, let's assume that we pick a random human, yeah? That's this human. In Matrix language, this human has a day of birth, appearance, culture, where they're born, environment, their backstory, all the rest of it, yeah? That's just the language. Language doesn't really mean anything. It's just vibrations, yeah? Which, anyway, I don't want to go too ahead of myself. So language is just vibrations, right? But essentially, all of these things are codes, yeah? So if in Matrix language, for instance, right, if your day of birth is it's specific to you, I've showed you this, right? So your date and time of birth is a specific code. Your appearance is a specific code. Your culture, the fact that you are this kind of like this descendant or this iteration from your family, the third born. If you're the third born, nobody else can ever take that, yeah? The environment, all those things, they are specific codes to you, yeah? It's a language, yeah? This is who you are in the Matrix world. You're a code, yeah? But the energy inside of you animates all of this and brings this to life as a thing, an apparition of sorts that you see, okay? Now, when I spoke earlier on about the kind of like the boundaries, yes, the current iteration of man, we have a boundary, yeah? So all humans will have certain things, yeah? There will be things either side of the bell curve, but we're not going to break this. The fact that we have certain things in this world that we've seen, yeah, historical things that give us an indication that there have been previous iterations of humanity, and we also have remnants of that in our code, proves that the beast or the thing that we use to construct flesh, yeah, this is not God's first go around. God has tried different iterations, yeah? Even in the biblical religious text, it tells you it's right there. Okay, so now let's imagine God. This is consciousness, yeah? The eye of consciousness, God, whatever. By some magic hocus pocus, it's looking at a reflection of itself. The whole reflection is a code, yeah? But because of your specific configuration of that code, yeah, you appear as an image, yeah, a cutout of this stuff. But in actual fact, if you actually study this carefully, there's actually no separation because this line doesn't actually exist. It'll collapse. This line will collapse. It's just illusion. So that's what gives this the experience of this specific configuration, okay? It's the same way you can't see the matrix code, right? Some of us can see it, but some people can't, and it's understandable. If I took a dog to a classroom where they were taking a class on physics, what do you think the dog will see? The dog will just see people just sitting there. That's all the dog will see from its vantage point due to its configuration. So you as a human being, from your vantage point and your configuration, you think there's a tree, you think there's a house, you think there's planes, you think there's a sky, you think there's a ground underneath your feet, you think you're on a ball, you think there's a sun, you think there's a moon, all the rest of it. That's fine. You hold on to that. Yeah? It's just your perspective. Once you go up in rank, you see it. Okay. So from there, we come to, so this being, this code, yeah, when this code is living authentically, Yeah, so this is a specific frequency, specific configuration, a specific matrix code, yeah, if you like. Now, if this thing is if this thing is actually being authentic and aligned with the power that's actually powering it, and not living life in illusion and wearing masks, yeah, wearing some fake mask, yeah, hold on 1 second, wearing some fake mask, yeah, hold on, why is this gone the wrong way, hold on, yeah, wearing some fake mask, yeah, then the experience, because this mask is just an illusion. You think you're people pleasing, you think that you're lying to people, you think, but you live in this thing, you're just experiencing yourself. Yeah, so this is stupid. It's ultra stupid, actually. Okay, so when you are when him or her or it is his frequency is a lock with this authentic nature, yeah, and there's no masks, this is what you will experience: bliss, joy, peace, and balance, and love. Actually, the shared connection of love. I should have put that in there. Hold on, let me put that in there before I forget. And love, because God is love. God is the shared connection. Yeah, that's what you will experience. Why? Because this is God's frequency. That's the frequency of God. Yeah. Because why is this God's frequency? Because God actually chose to make you in this config, and this config being authentic without this mask is God's frequency. Don't be a dickhead. Yeah, it's very straightforward. Okay, so you will experience these things. If you're not experiencing these things in your life, you have one of these things. If you are not experiencing this on a daily basis, on a moment by moment, hour by hour basis, you've got one of these. Yeah, you're living an illusion. Now let's talk about the demons. When you think about the demons, right? All the demons I've just said are all affiliated with the flesh. All of them. In the Goetia, I think the lesser keys of Solomon, talk about the 72 demons and stuff like that. Every single one is tied to the flesh. Every single one of them. Yeah. They use theatrics and words like, oh, ranking, and he's a president, and he's a fucking this, and he's a fucking that, and he's a this, and he's a that. Nobody gives a shit. It's all descriptions of the flesh, right? Now, when you condense every possible way demons manifest, or kind of, these. Okay, so when we come back here, yeah, we can see that this is what's happening, yeah? Consciousness, God, life. By some magic, it's observing a reflection of itself in human form, even though the whole thing is transpiring in its mind, because everything comes out. The mirror does not produce anything. It's this way, yeah? Okay. We've gone through the matrix code and how your code is unique and how your specific configuration is your physical form, yeah? And when you're authentic and not living in the mind and illusion, you will experience God's frequency of bliss, love, joy, peace, and balance, yeah? Cool. Now, wait. Okay, so let's look at some demons. So I couldn't be bothered to write the zeros and ones. So this is the mirror once again, yeah? The mind of God. The ones and zeros are all there is in this reality that we call Earth, life on Earth. It's God's mind, yeah? This bubble. This is the edge of our reality bubble. This is you. So when somebody is demonic or demonically possessed, they're on demon time. They are wearing a mask, yeah? They have dropped in vibration, in frequency, and now locked into the frequency of the flesh, of the beast, which is manifesting as that's how they're expressing at the moment. So in the situation experience loop, which I spoke about, they've gone in their mind, and because they're a killer or a shooter or whatever, they've gone and killed someone in the landscape of the matrix code. They haven't killed anybody. So because consciousness is walking absent-minded in this physical form, it will come back and experience this, because There's nobody here, okay? Now, how does one end up here, dropping in frequency? Because this zombie, instead of being aligned, has gone in his mind. Yeah? And conjured up some flesh-based reason as to why he needs to have one of these masks. Yeah? We'll talk about programming after this, because programming forms a big part. But yeah, he's gone in here and fallen into his flesh, which is giving him this mask. Yeah? Anything affiliated with the flesh or the beast is demonic. Yeah? Okay. And that's how he's created that. Hold on 1 second. When you summarize all the demons you like, from the lesser keys of Solomon and stuff, I think there's like 72 that I mentioned. Everything I know about demons, and if you read the text, religious, whatever, you come to a realization that everything that they represent, everything that they feast on is flesh-based. That's why they're all connected to the beast. Yeah, Leviathan is a beast. Like, they're all beasts. Yeah, a beast is 666, which is flesh-based. Yeah, okay. Now, if you summarize every single possible thing that the flesh represents, I've done an easy list for you, but this is extensive. There's about 10, but I've categorized it. So the first is violence, destruction, murder, and conflict. Yeah, the root of this is jealousy and desire. Jealousy because you're focused on the other. Desire because you want something outside of you. Yeah, it's a form of self-worship. Okay. Greed and theft. The root is laziness because you're misusing your energy. And greed, you're focused on other. You're coveting, you want, desire. Yeah, flesh-based. Lust, sexual immorality, seduction, adultery. The root is no control of your energy, which means that you are in the wrong frequency. You're not locked into consciousness. You're flip-flopping. There's no control. Yeah? Self-worship and desire, all flesh-based. Lies, deception, dishonesty, manipulation. Root is fear, no control, self-worship, all flesh. Pride, vanity, arrogance, narcissism. It's basically one and the same, but the root is self-worship, flesh. Addiction, gluttony, overindulgence, gambling, all that degenerate stuff. The root is self-worship and no control. Again, flesh-based. Sloth, laziness, apathy, idleness. The root, no control, misuse of energy, self-control, self-worship, flesh-based. Envy, jealousy, resentment. The root is self-worship and the focus on other, flesh-based. Blasphemy, heresy, idolatry, it's in the name. Self-worship, because you're worshipping yourself so you can say that you are the reason why you are alive. You are powering your own body. You are your own God. Yeah? Fear, angst, panic, despair. Focus on separation. Flesh-based. Okay? So how do you tune into a demonic frequency? The first thing you need to do is you need to create a portal. Yeah? Keep this in mind. The second thing is you have to have incantations or prayer. I have told you what prayer is. OGs in the building and Jedis, you're exempt. What is prayer? Prayer is going inside of you and speaking to the energy that powers you, right? So you're going inside of you, and instead of speaking to the energy that powers you, you're speaking to the beast within. Yeah? Okay. Flesh-based sacrifice to flesh. This is how you shut the door to God, because you are disrespecting the power within you. You're focusing on the beast. You're essentially having a wank in a church. Yeah, churches are bollocks anyway, but you know what I mean, in God's presence, if you like. Then you form a pact with this flesh and say, I promise I'm not going to go against you, because the flesh lives in fear, because it's afraid that the minute you lock into the right consciousness, all this stuff collapses, because it has no power over consciousness. Then there's the astrological timing, which is an aspect of, hey guys, I spoke to you about the fact that you're a star, you're light in human form, yeah? So why do you think there's astrological timing if you're not light in human form? How? How, Sway? Obedience to the thing, aka slavery. This is what you have to do. You have to literally commit to the flesh. That's how you tune into a demonic frequency. That's how people invoke these things. Yeah? This is the people that use books and stuff. Yeah? So, to talk about astrological timing slightly, remember, this is all there is. Yeah? You are a specific configuration. There has been another configuration before in flesh, that lived in flesh, that was doing the same thing, yeah? That was doing this. It's trying to get you to replicate that thing's energy. The previous physical form's energy. That's all it is, bro. That's all there is, bro. Now, I made some notes. Give me a second. Let me find them and I'll tell you. So finally, the final bit is the programming. Because somebody, and it's a valid question, you might say, okay, well, what if this person didn't do anything, but somehow they were watching TV and the TV corrupted them and they became this violent person, or they found a porn book somewhere and it corrupted them and they became this sexually deviant person, or something happened in this thing, yeah, which wasn't their fault technically. They didn't seek it out. They didn't necessarily go in here, but something happened, yeah, which was almost out of their control. And it set this off. So if you think about programming, yeah, this is an old school TV, if you don't know, like that's what TVs used to look like, Jetsons, mad. So you have things like, the list is there. Hip hop is one of them actually, because hip hop actually feeds into the violence and killing, gangy, fucking degenerate nonsense. Yeah, gambling's another one. Hold on. So if Disney, masturbation is one of them. I saw a video and I remember like seeing this what's that movie, American Pie, and all those movies, like they kind of actively encourage these sorts of like sexually deviant behaviors in a very comedic way. Hollywood did that. Sorcery, and all these movies, Friends, like TV show, which encourage a lot of like casual sex and promiscuity, like all these things. They're not harmless, they're all harmful. Yeah. The porn industry, porn is free, bro, but water, you have to go and buy water, bro. Think about this. Water is not free, but porn is. Drinking, excessive drinking, violence, like hooligan movies and shit like that, even with like so many things, even in the movies, there's killing all the time and stuff like that. Like, what happened to just a normal movie, bro? So all these things, they're just whispers of code, bro, across time. Basically, like I told you, this is all there is. All different configurations. As you are experiencing it and God is experiencing this through you, you got to remember this is the extent of God's mind. Yeah? You follow? So The negative aspects, there are other reflections or projections that are in flesh, and they are whispering across this thing. Yeah? But it's your job to guard your mind, guard your spirit, guard your experience. You don't have to fall into it. Yeah? Like you go to your friend's house, like, oh, let's watch a porno or whatever as a teenager. Don't watch it, bro. You know what's right and wrong. You heard that voice in your head in that moment. You knew you shouldn't have drank. Don't take that drug. Don't do that. You know it. The voice is there. The voice is this voice, bro. Telling you, you are your authentic code. You're not this, so don't do it. But most people don't listen because they want to be cool. They want to have this mask and be accepted, even though there's nobody there. Just reflections of this thing in all different configurations. So why would you let something that's not even there influence you to now set off this chain for you to become a demonic being? So when you drop in frequency, it's not anyone's fault. It's your fault. Adam agreed to eat the apple, bro. He could have said no. So say no. Alright? Peace.